a poignant conversation with Mr. Harold Michael Harvey, author of the new book, Freaknik Lawyer, a memoir on the craft resistance. Join Mr. Harvey on this Saturday afternoon, September 21st at 6 p.m. at the historic Douglas Theater located on Martin Luther King Drive in downtown Macon, Georgia. The event is celebrating the book launch of Freaknik Lawyer, a memoir on the craft of resistance.
On the craft of resistance, the subtitle of my book is A Memoir on the Craft of Resistance. And so during the course of my life, I have developed a way or a craft. I have crafted the art of resisting inequality, resisting injustice, resisting racism, bigotry, and so forth. Prejudice and racism and discrimination, to fight and stand up for my community, I learned here in Macon. We're in the Washington Library. I spent a great deal of time in this library researching issues back when I was a young man. And in fact, when I was even younger, a preteen, I could not come to the Washington Library and check out a book. You know, that's history. 24 years to embrace the name Freaknik Lawyer. Back in the last decade of the 20th century, the term Freaknik held negative connotations for many in the Atlanta community. No reputable person wanted to be associated with the Black College Spring Break Festival, which rapidly became known as Freaknik. Sadly, the negative rap Freaknik received 2 decades ago lingers. Recently, I remarked to a neighbor that I was working on my memoir. She was excited to learn about my new project, but when I told her the title of my book, Freaknik Lawyer, it conjured up negative memories of crowded streets, scantily clad ladies, and the smell of burnt rope in the air. "Oh no," she exclaimed. "I was working at Morehouse when Freaknik was popular. The people were everywhere. I'm sure glad they don't come to Atlanta anymore." Freaknik is a spring break festival that was begun in the early 80s and really took off and came into focus in the mid-1990s. And the city of Atlanta, in order to discourage students, black college students, from coming to the city, began to crack down and throw them in jail and made it the traffic patterns very difficult, made it very hard for the black college kids to come to town and have a little fun. I was a practicing attorney at the time, and I agreed to represent any student who had been arrested during Freaknik on some minor traffic or city ordinance offense at no cost, because I thought it was not right to arrest them just because they came to town to have 3 days of fun. How that plays in to this larger theme, and so I wrap 2 major Supreme Court decisions around Freaknik to try to explain what has taken place since 1895, when the Supreme Court ruled in the Plessy versus Ferguson case that made segregation and unequal accommodations lawful. Use a topic, Freaknik, that younger people, although they may not have been around when that took place, but it is a word, it is a festival that sort of galvanizes their attention. And by taking Freaknik and wrapping the Brown versus Board of Education and the Plessy case around it, I hope to educate the millennial generation in ways to overcome and to resist the things that are holding them back in the 21st century.